DeKalb man is in the hospital after a tense standoff with police. After 4 decades, Duck Soup is calling it quits. And NIU engineering students are out to set a gas mileage record in this. NTC News Tonight starts now.
You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
DeKalb Police tell us that several officers were injured in a standoff late this morning at an apartment complex on Taylor Street. Good evening, I'm Ryan Mack.
And I'm Emily Neely. Police were called to the Taylor Street Plaza to deal with an angry tenant. The situation quickly escalated. According to police, the tenant had received a note from building maintenance that caused him to grab the bow and arrow shown in this video. Earlier, we're told, he grabbed a sword and started walking up and down the hallway of the 16th floor when police were called to the scene. When he knew police were on their way, he locked himself in his apartment armed with the bow and arrow along with other weapons he owned. Officers received minor injuries trying to restrain the man, who is now at Kishwaukee Hospital undergoing psychiatric evaluation. From safety to health, living a healthy and natural lifestyle in DeKalb has just become more difficult.
For 40 years, Duck Soup has been the only co-op natural food store in DeKalb, but that is about to end. NTC reporter Lauren Baker was at their meeting when they decided to close.
Hello everyone, I am Lauren Baker and I'm here at Duck Soup Coop, where members have made the most important decision of the future of this establishment. Duck Soup Coop, the only co-op or cooperative natural food market, is closing. An emergency meeting was held on Sunday at 5 p.m. to discuss the future of the co-op. Because Duck Soup Coop is a co-op, active members and board members of the establishment came together to decide what to do with the business. President of Directors of Duck Soup Coop, Mylan Engel, knows that this decision was not an easy one.
Well, I think we have worked tirelessly to inform the DeKalb public that although we're a member-owned store, everyone can shop here.
Members were presented with 4 different plans. They could either raise $100,000 in 2 weeks, file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, or make an orderly close to the store. With sales alone dropping from roughly $200,000 to $157,000, closing the store made the most financial sense to members, except for Andrew Shepard, a clerk here at Duck Soup Coop, who thinks otherwise.
First of all, I don't think people quite realize that the employees are going to be the ones that are, I suppose in a war term it'd be frontline.
Before the store totally closes, big changes inside the store have to be made. One of the major things that Duck Soup Coop will be doing is getting rid of all of its inventory. So things like red lentils might not be restocked. Board members expressed that to make the closing easier, the store should focus less on quantity of items and more on items that create a big revenue in the store. Though these shelves are empty, this does not represent the legacy that this establishment has made for the DeKalb community. From Duck Soup Coop, Lauren Baker, NTC News.
The store plans to sell off its inventory with cash-only sales.
A DeKalb home has been deemed uninhabitable by city officials. Following a search Friday morning, the home on the corner of Fisk and 7th was ruled hazardous. Neighborhood complaints led to a warrant to enter and investigate the home. It has been ordered by the circuit clerk to be properly secured, and no one is permitted to enter without city approval.
Here on campus, a student association senator could lose his spot following last week's SA elections, but not to a new candidate. Jake Swick is accused of sharing election information with the Voice of Change ticket. Swick is also part of the Board of Elections and could lose his spot if found guilty at a hearing next week. The Voice of Change ticket is already facing a hearing this week for intimidating voters by standing behind them while they vote.
Changes to the bus lines on campus are not being taken well by students. The Student Association held a focus group Tuesday to hear inputs from the students. The overcrowding of the buses will force the Husky line to split one bus back to its original 2 lines that are designated to travel to Greek Row. SA held a focus group last February, which led to the Barcema Express route, and are using these focus groups to improve the bus system.
The Husky rocket is NIU Engineering's newest project to try to become more fuel efficient.
The super mileage team is testing out their new prototype that could be 1,800 miles a gallon. And no, that's not a mistake. NIU's super mileage team is working on a new prototype of their car, the Husky Rocket. They're getting ready for the Shell Eco Marathon competition next month, and they hope this car will win by getting the most miles to a gallon of gas. To make the car more fuel efficient, students are making changes to the car's engine, which looks more like a lawnmower engine than what you might find under the hood of your car.
It's very difficult to convince yourself to modify your own car and to mess with your own car, because I have to drive this every day to get to class. It's really nice to learn theory and stuff on something that's a little more, this is way outside of anything I would do in my normal car.
One reason this car is more fuel efficient than a street legal vehicle is its carbon fiber body. Carbon fiber is strong and has a high temperature tolerance, but it's still lightweight. In some areas, the new prototype of the Husky Rocket will have 2 layers of carbon fiber with a layer of Lanner-Soric in between. The Lanner-Soric has a honeycomb structure. This will allow resin, or liquid plastic, to seal together the 2 layers without weighing it down.
The edges have extra rigidity, otherwise you'll just fly around like a Kleenex in the wind.
This car might be able to handle the DeKalb winds, but you probably won't see it on the street anytime soon. Now, this car might not be street legal, but it does have everything you need to get from point A to point B. It has mirrors right here, a steering wheel, even a speedometer, your off-on switch, and even a horn. For now, NIU's super mileage team is working hard as they hope that the new prototype of the Husky Rocket will get over 1,800 miles to the gallon. In DeKalb, Emily Neely, NTC News. The Shell Eco Marathon is in Detroit next week. Good luck to the entire NIU team.
The temperatures have been slowly and steadily rising to feel more like spring.
Emery Dhanens is here with us. So Emery, are we bound for another cold front, or is this spring weather here to stay?
Well, I can basically say that the spring weather is here to stay. Although we'll have a cold front go through later this weekend, it'll still be pretty warm, and the middle of this week is going to be great. But first, let's take a look at tomorrow's temperatures. For Tuesday, across the northern part of Illinois, we'll see very sunny conditions with temperatures in the mid-50s to 60s, except for Chicago with that lake breeze. It'll also be very windy in DeKalb and Kankakee. To hear more on the even warmer weather to come, stay with us. You're watching NTC News Tonight. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you've all been enjoying the beautiful sunshine today as much as I have. It feels great to be finally back into the 50s. We're not only at but above our normal for this time of year. That high of about 57 feels great. I know we've all been looking forward to this spring-like weather, and it seems that it's finally come. Let's take a look at what's going to be in store for us the next couple of days. So tonight we'll see a cold front kind of coming towards our area, but it'll move off to the southeast, not affecting us that much. And as Tuesday moves on, that cold front will extend even further down, but Tuesday's temperatures will be pretty similar to today, so don't let that cold front scare you. And then as we go on, this system will move off, and then we have a new system coming our way, which has this warm front. We haven't seen a warm front come our way for so long. It's going to be so nice to be in that warm sector as that warm air from the south is brought up to the north through our area, so we'll see much warmer temperatures for Wednesday. And then as we move on to Thursday, this system moves off to the east, and a cold front approaches our area, which will push through on Thursday night, giving us colder temperatures for Friday, but it'll still be relatively warm, so that'll be nice. And then we see this high pressure system building into our area more on Sunday, Saturday, which will bring warm and sunny skies for Saturday. So let's take it back to tonight, where we'll see partly cloudy conditions, an overnight low of about 41 degrees, and those winds will be increasing from 10 to 20, possibly gusting up to 25 miles per hour this evening. And then for Tuesday, we will see beautiful sunny skies, high of about 55 degrees, which will be nice, but those winds are still picking up out of the north, gusting to about 20 miles per hour. So although it'll be sunny, it'll be a little bit windy, but it should still feel pretty nice out there. And then on Tuesday night, we'll see mostly clear conditions with an overnight low of about 31 degrees. And then we will have a wind shift from the northeast to southeast, which is great for us because when you have those winds coming up from the south, it'll bring warmer temperatures, like I said, for Wednesday. So let's take a look now at our 5-day weather forecast. It's actually looking good compared to the last couple of weeks. On Tuesday, high of about 55, sunny conditions, a little bit windy. Then Wednesday, also windy, but much warmer, 64 will feel so nice on Wednesday. We do have a chance for showers in the evening hours, and also on Thursday, high of 62. And then we do have another chance of rain Thursday night as that cold front goes through. And like I said, colder temperatures on Friday, high of 47, and then moving into Saturday, high of 52 with sunny conditions. Should be nice out there this weekend. This whole week should be relatively nice, so get out there and enjoy it. That's all for weather. Let's send it back to the desk.
A woman is dead after bad directions from her GPS.
And a woman facing animal cruelty charges will get a psychiatric exam. Let's take a look at news across the state of Illinois. These are today's state lines.
A man who apparently was following his GPS drove off the ramp of a demolished bridge that had been closed since 2009, killing his wife. 51-year-old Zora Hussein of Chicago died of burns after the car caught fire following the 37-foot plunge Saturday morning.
A public defender is seeking a psychiatric evaluation for a woman facing animal cruelty charges after dozens of dead cats and dogs were found in her home outside of Rockford. 45-year-old Tina McKinnon of Freeport was arrested earlier this month. She's due back in court on Thursday.
Exelon Corporation says Illinois lawmakers must revamp the power market or potentially see 3 of that state's nuclear plants close. The Chicago-based company operates the largest fleet of nuclear plants in the country.
Harper College officials say the college will start offering 2 free years of tuition to students who maintain certain qualifications. High school students will qualify if they are at least a C students, perform community service, and graduate high school on time. The program starts this fall. And that's today's State Lines.
Families visit the site of that horrible plane crash in France.
And a day in court for a man charged with opening fire on students at a spring break resort. Here's what's happening in today's World Watch.
A difficult day for people mourning the victims of the Germanwings plane crash Sunday. Officials say they believe the co-pilot, Andreas Lubitz, intentionally crashed the plane. Investigators searched Lubitz's home this week and say they found evidence he had a medical condition and was declared unfit to work by a doctor.
The suspect in a shooting that left 7 Florida spring breakers injured appeared via video before a judge yesterday. Authorities say David Daniels drove nearly 150 miles to Panama City Beach before opening fire on a crowd Friday night. The 22-year-old is charged with 7 counts of attempted murder.
Civil rights groups and businesses are up in arms over the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. Indiana's governor signed the controversial bill into law Thursday. While the law does not specifically mention sexual orientation, critics say it could be used to discriminate against gays and lesbians on the basis of religion.
A 7.5 magnitude earthquake off the coast of Papua New Guinea triggered a tsunami warning early today. There were no immediate reports of damage or injuries. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center said hazardous waves were possible, but later scaled back the warnings. And that's today's World Watch.
Welcome to NTC Sports. Dame Kenny here. Big weekend for college basketball as the final 8 teams battled it out to cement their spot in the Final Four. If you're bummed out that you missed any of these big games over the weekend, look no further. We have all your coverage right here. The undefeated Kentucky Wildcats had their biggest test to date in Notre Dame. Were they able to keep their perfection alive, or was Notre Dame sharpshooting too much for the Wildcats to handle? Let's check it out. Kentucky had their hands full as the Irish came to play. Notre Dame takes the ball down the court, and Zach August finishes up the missed shot with the two-handed slam. Carl Anthony might only be in the low post, yes, but he takes the defender to Towns with this nice move. He's been unstoppable as of late. We see Towns in the same spot, but he hits a different move this time as he pushes the ball in with his offhand. High difficulty shot on that one. Now, Notre Dame led most of the game, but Andrew Harrison hit this big shot, and now Jerry and Grant has an answer of his own to put Notre Dame back on top. Real tight game here. Tight game now with time dwindling down. Andrew Harrison drives to the hoop and gets fouled. He hits both of his 2 free throws. Notre Dame needs a score to stay alive as they dribble down the court and chuck up a prayer, and they hit nothing. Kentucky advances. A great matchup between a number 1 and number 2 seed took place. Arizona looks to upset the favorited Wisconsin Badgers. Let's see who earns a spot to face Kentucky in the Final Four. It's a close game late in the first half as we see Frank Kaminsky shimmy to the rim as he throws down this two-handed slam. 3 names is better than 2 in Rondé Hollis Jefferson's case as he throws down this dunk after setting the nice pick. But then Sam Decker heats up as we see him sidestep the defender as he hits a high arcing three-pointer that extends Wisconsin's lead. This seems to be a reoccurring theme for the Badgers as Decker buries Arizona with this big shot. Aaron Rodgers loves it as Wisconsin wins. Louisville and Michigan squared off yesterday afternoon as we see Terry Rozier intercept the pass and nail this easy bucket. Izzo is very stoic with time running down. Travis Trice finds his teammate as he banks in this lefty shot, which puts his team up. With a chance to sink the Spartans, Terry Rozier misses a floater, but Louisville gets the board, and then they're fouled. They hit 2 of these free throws, which sends the game into OT. And overtime was all Sparty as they hit this breakaway layup that extends their lead. Braden Dawson drives to the basket and finds Forbes in the corner, but the 3 doesn't go down. Dawson cleans up the miss and crumbles Louisville with his big putback. Michigan State ends up beating Louisville. And if you've been counting correctly, that means there's only 1 spot left in the Final Four. And Duke and Gonzaga both want it. We're about to find out who wants it more. Coming into the game, Coach K is second all time in Final Four appearances. Jaleel Okafor looks like a 7-foot cornerback as he intercepts this pass and gravitates towards the basket for the finger roll finish. Gonzaga's big man Kyle Wiltshire bangs and spins and scores the easy bucket. Women and children, you might want to close your eyes for this one as we see Justice Winslow twist his ankle as he goes down for this layup, but he's a gamer. He actually returned. Jaleel Okafor is a man's man as you see him bump and shuck his opponent to score the easy bucket. Duke continues to roll. Our play of the day comes from, guess what? College basketball, of course. Let me take you back to the Kentucky-Notre Dame game. The play takes place in the second half as we see Notre Dame's Pat Connaughton soar for this one-handed rebound. But that's not why it's a top play as Connaughton gets the ball back in his hands. Then he drives to the basket and goes absolute Tarzan on the rim after throwing down this thunderous slam. And that's today's play of the day. I hope everyone is now caught up on their tournament news. The first Final Four game actually takes place this Saturday, April 4th at 5 o'clock Central Time. That's all for NTC Sports. I'll catch you on the flip side.
Coming up, a U.S. record that is out of this world. You're watching NTC News Tonight.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness, I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
We don't know nearly enough about the long-term effects that being in space can have on the human body.
For 2 men, the answers lie in spending a year in space. American astronaut Scott Kelly and Russian cosmonaut Mikhail Kornienko are at their new home, in space. They'll spend nearly an entire year in orbit aboard the International Space Station. For the 51-year-old Kelly, the 12 months in space will break a U.S. record. Scientists say the men will continue to learn why space travel and gravity changes the human body.
A whole year being weightless, I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, I mean, I would get crazy being cooped up for so long. NTC News Tonight is produced and directed by students here at Northern Illinois University. We want to thank you all for being with us.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back at this same time on Wednesday. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye, everyone.